know people in power don't like talking about COVID. Everybody has an agenda. But that's too damn bad because there are too many people sick. Long COVID is a real thing, and now we got young people dying, and nobody's even asking why. I want to bring in my doctor, Dr. Robin Rose, double board-certified physician, and she is the Terrain Health founder. Doc, thank you for coming in. Let's put up this first graphic here that you alerted me to. Death rates in the 40 to 44-year-old age category, okay? They are up dramatically, over 40% by the end of 2021, and it started during the pandemic. What's the question for you?
What's causing it, and why are we not looking at it more closely?
And if they know of this data, what do you get told about what the explanation is? Is there anything out there offered about what it is?
Well, a lot of colleagues of mine that are in the long COVID space have a lot of questions around this, obviously. And you said the 40 to 44, but it's really, the signal is very high for 15 to 45, actually. We'll probably bring up that data in a minute,
Yes.
but really the case. And we believe a significant driver could likely be the virus itself or the spike protein.
And we're not sure whether the spike protein that comes from the virus or for the vaccine is what we're seeing with long COVID and this other stuff, but it's about asking the questions and doing the research. Now, you start digging in. 25 to 29-year-olds. Again, these are not people who die of systemic disease. Among younger Americans, people in their mid to late 20s saw the most dramatic rise in cardiac-related deaths. How weird is that, and what does it make you ask?
So there's a ton of emerging research that's showing that the S1 spike protein basically embeds itself in what's called the endothelium or the blood vessel wall. And also there is a lot of research that shows that also shows the S1 spike protein gets into specific cells like monocytes and things like that. And this activates what's called our platelets. The platelets then release a bunch of inflammatory cytokines and other inflammatory factors, and also activate what's called the clotting cascade. And that clotting cascade is what could be contributing to some of these results that we're seeing with the increase in cardiac events.
Now, another thing that I need you to explain this one to me. Cancer, of course, again, is rare in younger people. Happens, but rare. This is the 15 to 44-year-old tranche that we grabbed for you here. Younger people dying of cancer, especially males, which we'll show you in the gray bars. What is turbo cancer, and why are these rates? What could it be that it starts in 2019, which is exactly when we had the pandemic? What else could it be?
So it didn't. So actually, 2018 and 2019, it didn't really start. It started to increase by 1.7% in 2020. So Dr. David Weissman and colleagues just put out this preprint. It's a beautiful article using crude data from the CDC. Okay. And basically they show that they look at basically neoplasm or cancer as the underlying driver of excess mortality. And they show that there's an increase from 2020 to 2022 by 465%. Then they also look at cancer as either an underlying or contributing cause to excess mortality, and there's an increase by 300% from 2020 to 2022. And that's in the 15 to 44-year-old age group.
What is turbo cancer?
Well, I don't know if we can call it aggressive, cancers that are much more aggressive. So since the pandemic started, there's been several case reports in the literature that have emerged that show that aggressive type lymphomas and other cancers have occurred after people have received the vaccine or that have gotten COVID. And this is something that a lot of us are screaming about the CDC and the FDA to look at more closely, right, because we want to understand the mechanisms at play.
Dr. Rose, thank you very much for helping me, and thank you for helping the audience. I know clinicians are nervous about talking about this, but I know you care more about getting the answers. Thank you very much for being with me. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, And you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.